Hello everyone, I hope you're doing good and staying safe. I welcome you all to this interesting session on SQL Outer Join. In our previous video, we have discussed about SQL Inner Join, and in today's session, we'll discuss what is SQL Outer Join and how to execute them in Mysql Workbench. But before we get started, if you're tech geek and in a pursuit of learning new technologies, consider getting subscribed to our channel SimpliCode to stay updated with all the latest trending technologies. And hit that bell icon to never miss an update from us. So without any further ado, let's get started with today's topic. Now before getting into the execution part, let us just quickly discuss what is SQL Outer Join. The outer join statement returns all those records which are present in either the left table or the right table. Now for example, if you consider the table here A which has records 1, 2, 3, 4 and the table B which has records 3, 4, 5, 6. Now if you apply the full outer join to these two tables, it will display all the records, that is 1, 2, 3 and up to 6. Now let us discuss the syntax of SQL Outer Join. The syntax is followed as select table1.column1, table1.column2, table2.column1 and so on. These are basically the columns that you want to display in your resultant table. From table1, full outer join table2 on table1.column equals to table2.column. Now as far as MySQL is concerned, this syntax is not applicable. Now if you're working on other databases like PostgreSQL and Microsoft SQL Server, you can apply this syntax. But if you're working on MySQL Workbench, there is a different syntax which I'll be discussing in a while. So now that we've understood what is SQL Outer Join, let us jump into MySQL Workbench for the execution part. As you can see, MySQL Workbench has started, and on the home page on the left side you can view the databases and tables. Now I've created certain tables time being. So let me just display the values that are present in these tables. Now in order to execute the SQL Outer Join, we'll consider the employee table as well as the project tables. So let me just display the values present in the employee table. I'll use the select operator to display those values. Select star from employee. So it will display the records of all those employees having employee ID, employee name, age, their designation, city, salary, date of joining and their department ID. Now similarly, I'll display the records of projects. Let me just take another tab. I'll use again the select statement to display the records. Star from projects. Now if you execute this statement, it will display the project ID, employee ID, project name and the project manager details. Now let's say if I want to fetch the details of all the employees from the employee table and the project details they are working on from the projects table, I'll have to use the full join to retrieve information from both the tables. Now as discussed earlier, the full outer join keyword is not applicable to MySQL database. So I'll have to implement a new logic here which is quite simple. As you know, the full outer join is the result of combining the left and right table. So we'll first use the left join, then we'll use the right join, and finally we'll use the union operator, which is used to combine the resultant set of two or more select statements and execute it in a single statement. By the way, we haven't executed left and right join yet, so stay tuned for the upcoming videos on both these joins as well.
If getting your learning started is half the battle, what if you could do that for free? Visit SkillUp by SimpliLearn. Click on the link in the description to know more.
So the following query would be, let me just take another tab again. So the following query would be select, now mention all those column details that you want to display in your resultant table. So I want to display the employee ID, employee name, project name and the project manager's name as well. So you have to mention the column names in the format of table name dot column name. So I'm taking the alias name for the employee table as E. So E dot employee ID, comma E dot employee name. Now for the projects table, I am taking the alias name as P. So P dot project name, comma P dot project manager's name. From the table that is project tables, sorry, the first table is employee, right? So we'll mention the employee. Now use the left join keyword, left join on projects on. Now you have to mention the condition on the basis of which you are connecting these two tables. Now if you look at the two tables, we have the employee ID that is present in both the tables. So that will be the common attribute to specify this condition here. So e dot employee ID equals to p dot employee ID. Now I'll just copy paste this same statement, and instead of using the left join, I'll use the right join keyword. So let's just replace the left join keyword with the right join, and I'll mention the union operator keyword to join these two tables. So that's it, guys. This is how you can use the full outer join in MySQL Workbench. Now let us just execute this statement and see the output. So there's a bit of error. Let me just check it once. So I forgot to mention the alias name here for both the tables, so that is why it is throwing an error. So as you can see, this is our output, and you can clearly see that the records from both the tables, that is the left table which is employee and the right table which is projects, are being displayed here. Now unlike the inner join which only fetches those records which have matching values in both the tables, full outer join retrieves all the values irrespective of whether they are matching or not. For instance, if you look at the employees having employee IDs here, 1012, 1013, 1016 and as well as 1018, we have their information present in table 1, that is the employee table here. But we do not have their information in the projects table here. And similarly, employees having employee IDs like 1022, 1023 and 1024, their information is present in the projects table, but it is not present in the first table, that is employee. You can see only the employee details having their employee's ID up to 1020 are being displayed in the employee table. Also, if you notice the resultant table here, guys, some of the employees like Kirti, Varun and Nitya have no projects assigned to their name. That's why we have null values in the project name column. That's because though their records are present in the employees table, but their employees IDs are not present in the project table. That means all these employees are yet to be assigned a new project. So if the values present in both the tables that does not match, it will simply just return null values. Similarly, we can see the other three projects that are present in the table, but there is no sign of employee details here, be it their employee ID or employee name, and it will just simply return the null values again here, because we do not have the employee information in the first table employee, even though their IDs are mentioned in the project table, and hence it will only return null values. Now suppose this is just a demo table having around 20 or 25 records, but if you consider a company's database in real life, it will have thousands of records. In order to access and manage various database tables and fetch information from those tables altogether, it becomes quite difficult, right? So this is why we use full join to connect the tables and retrieve each and every information from them. And if any column has null values, they can just simply update those rows or even delete them as per the requirement. And with that, we have come to the end of today's session. That was all about SQL full outer join. I hope you understood how to execute the outer join statement, guys. Thank you for watching the video. I hope you found this tutorial informative and useful. If you have any further queries regarding any of the topics or the queries discussed in the tutorial, feel free to let us know in the comment section below, and a team of experts will be more than happy to help resolve all your queries at the earliest. Until next time, stay safe and keep coding.